You said you weren't going to shave.
I know, but it was so white. It was whiter than yours.
You promised you weren't
It
going
was.
to shave.
I mean, I couldn't do it. I will later.
Well, no, I'm sorry. I've been teasing him now through 2 phone calls and 1 show that he needs to grow his mustache back because he had a great mustache.
But then I've seen you. I know I'm not growing it back.
But you promised.
I promise. Okay, I'll do it. I'll do it during November for Prostate Cancer Awareness Month.
No shave, no.
No shave, yeah.
Next question. Okay, Brian, somebody get one of the microphones back to Brian. Yes, we will make sure you pull the microphone in front of you so that most can hear you. When you think back 25, 6 years, whatever, how often do you think about those moments? And do you relish the wins, or do you still think about we should have beat so-and-so and could have beat so-and-so?
Is that for
Yes, sir.
me? Yeah.
All of you.
Say
Well,
all of
all of the above, but that's certainly the losses. You know, they're ones that just gnaw at you. It's because you always feel like, was there something we could have done differently? But no, you got to embrace the wins, but the losses probably more than anything else, especially when you're on a roll. For instance, I brought up the other night, I want to bring it up again, about St. Valentine's Day massacre here. It was when we lost to Mississippi at home, but we went on to win like 15 games in a row. So it's so that loss was kind of, you can see it's still with me. And they stick with you a long time, especially those overtime losses, double overtime losses. The close losses probably stick with you longer than anything. But the wins, you know, the wins are for the record book.
I agree with Coach. I'll think about the 96 team, and then I'm like, well, damn, I wish I would have played in 97. So it kills me for about 2 minutes, and then I'll go back to 96. But it's always like this. The championship, both of them were like great, and then it just turns on me. But 97, just not winning that chance. That's the most asked question I get, could I have played? I'll be at a kid's game, it's like my son's 5, and they're like, hey, man, could you play 97? I was like, it was 26 years ago. Like, yeah, I could have played, but, you know, that was just part of the process. But it was the wins are always outlast, but you'll never forget the ones you lost.
So, yes, Derek could have played. And he practiced the day before, full out practice, but Coach probably made the right move by not playing him. But, you know, as you look back and could have won a national championship, it would have been nice to have Derek there with us to help it, you know, to the next level. But you know, looking back, it was you know, just the overall looking back on the wins and losses. You know, I think I kind of look more towards the losses, like, oh, we should have beaten Michigan in the Final Four when we played them. If Del Brown wouldn't have did this, or if Mashburn wouldn't have fouled out, we could have probably won, and we probably could have beaten North Carolina, and who knows? Nobody could stop Mashburn. And then when he fouled out with like 7 minutes left to go, we just we couldn't score. And, you know, some of you guys can remember it, some you can't, but you know, overall it was a great career, and you know, a lot of good memories with a lot of good players, and now good friends. So it's good times.
Come on here, Dick. Dick, hang on, guys.
Hi, Tubby, Dick Weiss. How are
Hey,
you?
Dick, how you doing?
I'm good. 98. What was there any one moment during that run that really stands out for you? Obviously, you had the great win over Duke, and you won a national championship. But was there one moment during that run that you will always remember?
It's hard to remember when you get a certain age, but there are a lot of things that were memorable during that run, and I just remember how our players, how committed they were, because I was very fortunate to inherit some very talented players in 97, 98 that helped me understand, you know, won Missouri Valley Conference championship and at Tulsa, but not at this level, and so not at this level of competitiveness. So, but they were. I just cherished the moments with all the players. Just in there with Jeff and Cameron, and Wayne Turner, all the guys, and Ozzy's in there now, and just that's what you cherish. How they, how excited they were, and how happy you are for those young men that are sacrificing and giving it their all. They want to win, even when it's a tough loss. We didn't want to lose to Arizona in the Maui tournament. It's supposed to be a revenge factor because they had just lost. Then we came home and lost to Louisville that year over the holidays, Christmas holidays, to Coach Crum. Heck, we lost 4 games that year. 3 of them were at home. Then we lost to Florida, and then so you can see what stands out with me. But just reminiscing, I think I treasured having my parents. That was the last game my dad ever attended, was the Duke game in Tampa, and they drove all the way from Scotland, Maryland. My mother actually came to San Antonio, but by then my dad was in his early stages of Alzheimer's, and he didn't make the trip. But he saw that game, and so those are the moments I cherish.
For all 3 of you, I mean, life takes you so many different paths, and it's hard to get so many guys together on a given weekend. So what is it like to see everybody, to get everybody to be celebrated again back here?
It's great for us. We still in a group chat. So our 96 team, we're in a group chat. So we text probably everybody's birthdays. Anybody has a celebrity, anybody has a baby. We send pictures of each other, like just jokingly. Like we're still connected after all these years. So for us, it's like we've never left each other. So that was a bond that we built here. Like I played in the NBA for 11 years, and I might text somebody, I'll get to see somebody every blue moon in 11 years. Well, I had 1 year with these guys, and we still connected. So to see them is better than to view them, if you know what I mean. So we're always cherishing that as we get older. All of us are laughing about gray hair and losing hair, but we don't lose our love for each other, and that was because we were here together.
Yeah, so we're all going about our lives, and everybody's got families and stuff like that. And we're all growing up. But when you get on the group chat, kind of like he said, it feels like you're like 18, 19 again. I'm like, oh, I remember what you did, and I remember what you did. So it's good memories. It brings back the memories, and just like he said, happy birthdays are coming around all the time. And I think Cameron's usually the guy's like, hey, it's this guy's birthday, and then everybody's like, happy birthday, which is cool to see everybody, interacting and stuff of that nature. And the guys on the West Coast, they always interact on that text thread a lot later than the other guys. Some of those threads come at like 6:30 in the morning. I'm like, man, it's like 3:30 in the morning out there, waking these guys up. But, it was a good fraternity that we had. You look back and see how many players that were on our team and that sat the bench and didn't play at all. And, and just even like look at Nazi and his career, and he played on JV basketball. Like there was a JV, Coach Pitino made a JV team. Nazi hated it. But his first game, he came out, had like 44 points and 22 rebounds. He's like, I'm going to dominate this, which he did, and he's had a great career. And you see, Nazi he wasn't even playing for varsity, I say varsity, but the team, and he made his way and made a great career, and along with a lot of other guys, Jamal McGlure, and Paget wasn't playing at all, and it's really cool to see those guys that weren't playing, like 10th, 11th, 12th guy on the bench, and then next thing you know, they're NBA superstars and players for 10 or 15, Nazi's 18 years. So that's pretty cool.
Coach, right here. Hoops asked you about a moment, and with your 98 team, we've heard so much about the Valentine's Day loss and then the players' meeting when they realized they had been kind of chafing a little bit at your style.
Yeah.
But then they gave themselves over completely and never lost again. Did you sense that they were still clinging to the previous coach, and did you sense after that meeting when things took off?
That's an interesting question because I've taken over a lot of programs, 7, 8 different programs and over the years, and so to come in behind another coach, another staff, and you bring in a different style. Everybody has their own personality that you're trying to help players understand. It's not really about them. It's about it's about we. It's not me. So we and us, and doing it the right way, playing the game the right way. But well, again, it comes with the leadership within the locker room, and the reason it was successful. They had. We had that 98 team, guys like Allen Edwards, Jeff Shepard, and Cameron Mills. They were trying to do all they could, because I made them tri-captains to bring everybody. But then everybody has an ego, and those that weren't playing, like he was saying, maybe 10, 12, 9, 10, 12. And we played a lot of people. But they ended up, not feeling like they were getting their due. And so that can be tough. But I thought those guys were able to keep it together, keep everybody believing and trusting in the process. Because we had a great culture here. I mean, let's face it, Kentucky, winning culture, winning, you don't have to, there's not a lot to do, just do your part. You don't have to be anything special, and we'll be successful. But that was what happened, which turned the season around. And we used to talk about, I was telling Jeff, and I said, man, you guys must have taken that at halftime. I would say the most insignificant score is a halftime score. So you guys kept waiting until halftime, second half to play. I guess they wanted to make a point.
Yeah, for all three, especially the players. I know Rick couldn't be here because of obligations of Iona. Is it time for the university kind of bury the hatchet, get him in here and celebrate what he did for the program at the time when he took over?
Well, so look, for me, I've got a lot of respect for Coach Pitino. I played for him, and he was tough, as a coach. And, he's gone on and made his way. I think I was one of the first people he talked to, and that he was going to go to the Boston Celtics. He's like, I've got this opportunity to go to the Boston Celtics and get paid all this money, and it's like 3.5 times what I'm making now. And I was like, well, he's like, my dream was to coach at UK. My dream was to coach at the Boston Celtics, And so hindsight's always 20/20, where you leave, and it'd have been great if he'd stay here. But if he did, and you never had Tubby come in and do what he did here, and then Cal come in. So, I don't think, I think he should come back. It's time heals all wounds or whatever. So, he did a lot of great things for the school and brought the program back, and it was, helped it out a lot. And so I got a lot of respect for Coach Pitino, my personal self.
Well, obviously, I think he should be celebrated and honored because of what his contributions to continuing the great legacy of Kentucky basketball. And he was always telling us, Kentucky basketball is bigger than any one of us, any coach. Now, Adolph Rupp had a pretty good impact on it, but it's bigger than any of us, any players, anybody else ever been a part of this program. That's what makes it so great.
I was doing it because I definitely think that, but I know how people take it personal. It's like I've always loved Coach P. He's taught me a lot. He's been a great friend of mine for years. Even though when he didn't play me, didn't tell me, but he was looking out for me, and I've always loved him for that. So I think we should always bring him back and keep him close to the university for what he's done for all of us, not just the fans or the university, but for the players. I think we've all collectively got something from him, and we should give it back in return and reward him with at least a kind gesture or something. So I think it was great that we could bring him back one day.
All right.
This is for DA. When we talked to you in Miami, and you and Walter and Ron were together, and you all were 100% in on the fact that prior to the 96 year, you all had no idea how Pitino was going to pull this off with so much talent, and all of y'all thought you were going to start.
Yeah.
Now that you've had some years in the league and coaching and whatever. What kind of perspective do you have now on how he kind of pulled that group together and you all set egos aside?
He was a magician to do that with all the way Antoine talked. I was like, I don't know how you did that. Like, that dude talked bad to us, to other teams, argue with coach. So for him to manage our egos, I came in and was averaging 16, 17 points, and I was relegated to like the third, fourth score. And I'm like, I can beat these guys, but he was like, well, we need you to do this. And I was like, wow, it makes sense. He said, we can win this way. He sold the dream of winning and all of us being successful in the end. I think once we accepted that after the UMass loss and actually saw the results of us scoring like 86 points at halftime and beating teams by 40, and it was like, we all had fun. And we didn't like to practice, and we like to play more games, so it was like you worked hard to get playing time. So he taught us that lesson of every day, making sure. It was a precious present, wasn't it? The book, the living a precious present, and it was like that was a gift for us to be in that moment. And for him to do what he did was remarkable. I mean, we were egos, but we loved each other. That was the difference. Like, we would go bowling and hang out. Alan would steal our cars, we were like a real brotherhood. And I think for Coach Pitino to instill loving each other and being mad at him was working for us. So those memories are great. But he did a magnificent job of controlling that, and especially in a day and age where everyone was wanting to be them, started to come around where everybody wanted to be their individual selves. We stuck true to University of Kentucky and winning tradition, and that's what he did for us.
I gotta go see some folks.
What does it mean to you, and how has your life changed? And what's it feel like to be a national champion at Kentucky for the rest of your lives and for the history books decades from now?
You want to do that so you can go?
Yeah, well, look at here. We're being celebrated and being recognized, and it's quite an honor. But it's also a labor of love, because we love the game, we love people, and it's, you get in this coaching profession as a teacher because you enjoy being around young people. You enjoy sharing what you can, your knowledge and wisdom that you might have to the players. And we always used to say, and the balance, and I think that's one of the keys, is not getting too excited about things and not getting too down. And I think in sports in general, that teaches you that, because you got another game to play. You got another practice coming up. So you got to celebrate that win or agonize over that loss, but you got to move on immediately. And I think that's what athletics and sports, I think, teaches you. But just being here today, being a part of this is remarkable. And we can be more grateful or thankful for the Big Blue Nation and what they've meant to us and to my family. So, thank you.